Good morning. I'm sorry if my voice sounds slightly strange. It was my twin's birthday not so long ago, and I've got the leftovers of a helium balloon. And what adult doesn't love a helium balloon? Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Breakfast Show. That's really screwed me up, that. Good morning to Mark and to Irvin, who've just joined the chat. So let me see. My mouse has stopped working, which is always a bit of a worry. So, how wrong can one man be? When I was invited to spend a couple of days with the team at Bobcat, I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting much. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Bobcat, love the people, love the equipment, love everything about them, and I've been a real fan of their innovations of late. But I spent time with them at Balmer less than a year ago. I spent time with them at ConExpo back in March, and I saw them again in Verona just last month during the Samota Fair. So I had already seen everything new they had to share, right? Wrong. Oh boy, so wrong. I've just spent 2 full days being bowled over by one new innovation after another. New machines, new tech, new machines that aren't even available yet, and new tech that could turn the industry on its head. And to top it all off, and this is one of those stories that I will treasure forever. I got to meet the son of one of the inventors of the machine that would evolve to become the Bobcat skid steer that we all know and love today. In fact, I saw so much that I've decided that tomorrow's episode of Construction Equipment News, 1 p.m. tomorrow, wherever you're watching this, will be dedicated 100% to all things Bobcat. We'll show you some of the hot new equipment tomorrow, but we'll also do we're going to do that in our usual quick fire way, but we're going to follow up with a whole bunch, probably 8 or 9 full-length feature videos of all the equipment that we saw while we were over there. In addition to all that, I have both a video and an audio interview with Joe Keller, the man whose father and uncle created the machine that would ultimately become the Bobcat skid steer. Oh, and just one more thing. How have I never been to Prague before? The place is amazing. The people, the architecture, the food. As Arnie famously once said, I'll be back. Now, without further ado, let me roll the intro, post the reintroduced question of the day, and get this show on the road. Now, I'm going to say a very quick good morning to Irvin again, to Jim Turner, to Gaz Evans, and to Tony Bates, who I believe is here for the first time. He has no sound. Tony, I'm fairly sure that that's unique to you. I don't know if you got your sound turned down, but I've got it coming through loud and clear through my headphones, and nobody else has mentioned it, so hopefully it's just at your end. But I don't remember seeing you here before, and so you get the welcome confetti, assuming that's for you, Tony. Even if you can't hear me, that is very much for you. Now, let me get back to where I was before. Let me get rid of that comment from the screen, because then I can concentrate a bit more. It is Thursday, the 25th of May. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I am your host, Mark Anthony. In today's show, Volvo unleashes a demolition giant over in Austria. Let me see. That's for tomorrow. We're dozing with Develon. Call it what you like. Plus, ahead of tomorrow's episode of Construction Equipment News, which is going to be dedicated entirely to the latest innovations from Bobcat. We're going to take a high-speed spin around the company's amazing facility at the Czech Republic. And we're going to get to all of that in just a second. But first, let us peer back through the mists of time to see what was going on in this day in history. Yes, on this day in 1878, Gilbert and Sullivan's opera HMS Pinafore receives its premiere in London. Remember it well. In 1927, Henry Ford announced that his company was ending production of its famous Model T. In 1932, the Goofy cartoon character made his first ever screen appearance. In 1961, President John F. Kennedy famously announced that the US would put a man on the moon before the end of the decade. And delivered on it. In 1965, the year of my birth, Muhammad Ali knocked out Sonny Liston in the first round to retain the heavyweight title. And in 1969, can you believe that? The movie Midnight Cowboy premiered. But far more important than all that, back in 1935, athlete Jesse Owens equaled or broke 4 world records in less than an hour. The event is remembered, quite rightly, as the greatest 45 minutes ever in sport. Now, before we get to the real meat of the show, let me remind you of our question of the day. And it looks like this. Yep, that's right. Who is your celebrity crush? Which celebrity makes your heart beat just a little faster? Which famous person makes you go weak at the knees? And there will be no judgment here. We're all friends together. I've always had a thing for Debbie Harry and Joanna Lumley. Still do. But I'm also man enough to admit that David Beckham looks like he smells really nice. So come on, people. Who is your personal celebrity crush? Look forward to seeing those, and we'll come back to those at the end of the show. But it is time to actually start the show proper. So here goes. Going to say a quick good morning to Mick Dalton, who's just joined us. Morning, Mick. Thank you very much indeed for being here. Now, the Volvo EC750 is a seriously impressive piece of kit. I should know. I saw one up close and personal at the company's headquarters in Sweden about a year ago. However, an EC750 in high-reach demolition configuration, well, that's a whole new ballgame altogether.
In the current project, the challenge is to demolish a 38-meter high chimney without vibration.
The Volvo EC750E High-Reach is the perfect machine for this project. The special feature is the hydraulically extendable undercarriage and the Volvo patented boom changing system. It's possible to change from standard boom to the demolition rig within short time. The hydraulically lowerable 15-ton counterweight simplifies the transport.
We see very great potential in the demolition excavator. The chimney demolition was just the beginning. The EC750 will be used in many other large demolition projects. Ascendum is a strong partner for us. We already invested in 28 more Volvo construction machines. Volvo stands for me, for the highest quality and Swedish robustness.
Pretty good, right? Stunning machine. And we'll be back with another demolition excavator towards the end of the show. We've had some entries in. I'm not going to go to them now, but we've had some entries in on our Celebrity Crush of the Day. Some good ones too. I'm going to say good morning to Chris. I'm going to go for Physicella. I don't know, but I'm going to go with Physicella. But as you are here for the first time, as far as I know, you get your welcome confetti too. Good morning, Chris. Thank you very much indeed for being here. Now, we need one of... Let me think. We need one of these. Yes, as most of you know, I've spent a few days in the company of those very fine folks at Bobcat. Even for a jaded old buffer like me, it really was a memorable trip. I saw more innovation in 2 days than I usually get to see in a year. And I took a really memorable trip down memory lane with the guy whose father and uncle invented the machine that would evolve to become what we know and love as the Bobcat skid steer today. I'll be bringing you footage of all of that in the coming days, weeks, possibly months even, including tomorrow's episode of Construction Equipment News, which will be dedicated entirely to Bobcat. And trust me, you won't want to miss that, and I'll tell you more about that in just a second. But ahead of all of that, I wanted to take you on a very quick spin through the Bobcat machine display. Take a look at this. Yeah, I have so much to show you from the Bobcat Demo Day event that I'm going to give over the entire episode of tomorrow afternoon's Construction Equipment News, so that I can share it all with you. And you won't want to miss this one, obviously, for all the Bobcat equipment. But in addition to all the new kit, there is, oh, look at this, a Bobcat model, S750 skid steer loader, up for grabs on tomorrow afternoon show. I'm going to make it nice and easy for somebody to win, so one lucky person will be leaving the show with a big smile on their face and a Bobcat model to add to their collection. So be sure to tune in. That's 1 p.m. wherever you're watching this, 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, and we'll be back with more from Bobcat on that show. Now, some of this. It's a machine that we've followed since way before it changed its name. The Doosan DD100 dozer, which is now the Develon DD100, has been on our radar for well over a year now. So we thought it was high time that we caught up with it again.
Now is the time to give this brand a chance because, quite honestly, there's never been a better infrastructure. I mean, we are firing on all cylinders. We filled out the product line. We have a lot of parts. We have a network of dealers that can take really good care of you. My name is Armin Cincetti. I'm the Vice President of Sales for Best Line Equipment. We've been selling these machines for over 12 years. We just opened another branch in Savage, Maryland. It's going to be known as our Baltimore location. We're really excited to extend our footprint. The models that my customer base is most excited about have foremost been the dozer. The early feedback on the dozer has been that it has a lot of power and incredible visibility. Everybody that gets in it, they really like that. You can look out the back window, you can look out the side windows over the tracks, you can see all your surroundings. It's a comfortable dozer, very reactive. We plan on putting at least a half a dozen dozers in our rental fleet this year, and I would expect to sell quite a bit more as well to our customer base. You can rent one, you could ask your dealer for a demo, you could ask a friend in the industry if you could try theirs. You could save money, you could get a better product, and quite honestly, I think the dealerships are getting a lot stronger for this product.
Yeah, as it stands today, we're not expecting to see a DD100 in Europe anytime soon, but we are assured that its slightly bigger brother, the DD130, will make landfall here in Europe not too distant future, possibly even this year. Watch this space, we'll keep you posted.
Since the finance bill came into effect in April, the construction industry has seen a surge of fuel thefts. The rising cost of living has placed an additional risk of theft by employees and contractors, as well as opportunistic thieves. By using diesel dye and placing warnings of its use, you are sending a clear message that this is your fuel.
And our final clip of the day features another demolition excavator, only this time it's from Hitachi. Now, in terms of size, it's no match for the Volvo EC750 that we showed you earlier, but I think you'll agree this is one impressive piece of kit. Take it away, Timo.
Behind me you see the Hitachi ZX390 tool carrier. It is built for productivity and secondary demolition. For stability, the machine has a longer undercarriage and additional counterweight of 1.4 tons. For safety, the machine has side impact protection and a demolition cabin with FOPS guard level 2. The ZX390 TC can work with a 5-ton tool because it's equipped with bigger boom cylinders, bigger bucket cylinder and a reinforced linkage.
That joint venture between Hitachi and Craic continues to bear some really impressive fruit, I think you'll agree. Now, from the sublime to the irritating. So, I arrived back at Heathrow Airport late last night after 2 days in the excellent company of the fine folks at Bobcat. The trip was superb in every single way, and then I landed back in my home country. First of all, we all spent about 10 minutes waiting for the ground staff to place the stairs against the plane so we could disembark. Apparently, our arrival had somehow taken them by surprise. We then made our way to passport control. 200 metres or more before passport control machines and desks, there were signs pointing to EU passports in one direction, UK passports in another. There were signs on the floor, signs on the walls, signs on the ceiling. But Heathrow Airport apparently assumed that we were all so dumb that they had 5 uniformed members of staff all stood in a huddle saying, EU passports this way, every 15 seconds or so. My passport has for quite some time contained a chip. But it took 2 machines and a human to check whether I should be allowed back into my own country. And then, despite the delays on and off the plane, we still managed to get to the baggage claim a good 10 possibly 15, maybe even 20 minutes ahead of our suitcases. So I had 2 days in an absolutely gorgeous city. I got to hang out with some fantastic people. I got to see some amazing equipment, eat some incredible food, and hear some truly remarkable stories. But my most recent memory of my first ever trip to the Czech Republic is of us struggling to be allowed back into our home country. And I'd written that bit down. There was even more than that. So we ordered an Uber. I mean, we're talking midnight now, so ordered an Uber rather than getting a member of the family out. Somebody called Kumar, that was his name, I can't help it. Somebody called Kumar accepted our Uber request and said he would be with us in 5 minutes. 5 minutes went to 6, 6 went to 7, 7 went to 10, and he then sent me a message saying, I need you to cancel this. Now, my understanding is the way that the Uber works is if you cancel it, you are charged a cancellation fee. So I said to him, no, you cancel it. And he said, no, you need to cancel. There was a back and forth. In the end, he said, I will have to come to your destination and cancel it there. Now, all the time I'm stood there, unable to book another Uber because apparently Uber now believes I've got one on the way. After 15, maybe 20 minutes, he finally, it looked like he parked up about 2 kilometers away. And then he finally decided, actually, I'll go to the car park. We never saw him, but apparently he got close enough to the car park to say that he'd been there. I wasn't charged, but that's half an hour of my life I'm not getting back because our friend Kumar decided he couldn't be bothered to come to Epsom. I have complained because I'm British and that's what the British do. So that was my gripe of the day. Love to hear yours, as always. What is it that grinds your gears, gets your goat, and generally butters your parsnip? For me, travel. The actual travel itself, once I get there, brilliant. Particularly this trip, brilliant. But the getting through airports and getting back through airports ruins the whole bloody experience, in my opinion. That pretty much wraps up the main part of this morning's show. And I can't stick around today because I'm on a Zoom call at 11, but I am available to chat, and we do need to go through some celebrity crushes and a few hellos as well. So I'll roll the outro in just a second before leaping gazelle-like over into the chat to see what you're all saying today. If you can't stick around for that, then please stay safe, look after yourself, your family, your friends, and your colleagues. But if you have the time and the inclination, I'll see you on the other side of this for what is now known as the Craic. Before we get to that, here is a final word from our key show sponsor. Good morning, all. Good morning. It's good. Is it good to be back? Is it good to be back? I would have happily done another day or even 2 days, not just in the Czech Republic, but another couple of days at the Bobcat facility would have been all right with me. It's great, honestly. Obviously, Caterpillar has like its facility in Malaga, and you know, there are others just like it. When I was at Volvo last year, their facility in Eskilstuna, so you've got the headquarters and you've got their demonstration area. Bobcat is the same. They've got their innovation centre there, but they've also got this huge facility where we can test and play with the machines. Absolutely fantastic. And I have to say, I will be naming names tomorrow, but the people there, just absolutely brilliant. And I have to say, I will be in touch with him again. I met up with a guy called Joe Keller, whose father and uncle created the Keller loader way back when in the 50s. And at the time it was 2 front wheels and a single wheel on the rear, and it was used primarily for clearing out turkey sheds. Very unpleasant job, but it was very good at it. But then they evolved it to become what we now know as a skid steer, before the whole thing was taken on by Melro and ultimately by Bobcat. But I got to spend a good couple of hours with Joe Keller, and he is my new idol. He's absolutely cracking fella. Looking forward to bringing you the interview. So watch this space. I'm going to go to the chat now. Gary Muirhead is here. Good morning. You were first off the mark this morning, Gary. Thank you very much indeed for being here. I was a little bit worried actually because people were slow arriving this morning, but they arrived in their droves in the end. Stephen Guthrie is in the house. Morning, Stephen. Thank you. Oh, excuse me. Thank you very much indeed for being here. I will remind you, this will be up for grabs tomorrow. It's a obviously scale model of a Volvo S750 skid steer loader. We'll be giving that away to one lucky person tomorrow. Missed you and the Breakfast Show, says Lou Carney. Lou, as always, I missed you as well. But I'd have happily taken another couple of days in Prague. Mark Whiting's in the house. Good morning, Mark. Morning, Mark, and all, he says, and good morning to you as well. There is Irvin. Good morning, he says. Good morning, Irvin. Tony Bates, I hope you got your sound sorted out. As I say, I've got it. I'm monitoring it through my headset here. I know I'm coming through loud and clear, but it's always a worry when you see that. Hopefully it was a Facebook setting or something similar. Jim Turner's in the house. The music chosen to accompany that piece for Bobcat was aimed primarily at you, Jim. I thought I was feeling punky this morning, so I went with that. Hope you enjoyed it. Gaz Evans is in the house, counting down the days to plant works, as I'm sure Lou Carney is as well. There is my question of the day. Who is or who was your celebrity crush? I had a couple growing up, around about the same time, I would probably guess. Debbie Harry, obviously from Blondie. That one never went away. And Joanna Lumley. Those of a certain age will remember the New Avengers from back, I guess, late 70s, early 80s. Joanna Lumley with her purdy haircut. Oh, Joanna Lumley. I've got a couple more there coming through, but if anybody else has got a celebrity crush they'd like to share, please do so. Jim Turner is taking care of moderation on the site, saying, Tony, click on the video, then look at the bottom of the screen. It might be on mute. Mine does it every morning on Facebook. Bloody Facebook. Why would you start everything on mute? I've no idea. Mick Norton's in the house. Morning, Mick. Thank you very much indeed for being here. And we have Ansar is here, who apparently may well be related to Yoda. Sir, truck driver job have. If you're asking if I've got a job for a truck driver, sorry, my friend, I don't. Lou Carney goes obvious, and then maybe less obvious. Brad Pitt and Tom Hardy. Yeah, I understand both of those. In the nicest possible way. I can say this as a thoroughly heterosexual man. Wouldn't kick either of them out of bed. Girl crush, Pink. Get that. Tilda Swinton. Tilda Swinton's I find a slightly surprising one, because she looks a bit like the alien child of David Bowie. I don't think that's a bad thing. I actually quite like Tilda Swinton. Not so sure as I'd go so far as to say crush. Stephen Guthrie says, mine was Rachel Stevens. Still is. They never go away, do they? Even though I don't know how old Joanna Lumley is, well into her 70s, I'm sure Debbie Harry is exactly the same. Never goes away, does it? Because you have them sort of fixed in a period of time. And I did discover, because it was Debbie Harry's birthday a little while ago, that she was actually, I think she was 2 years younger than my mum. But as a 14-year-old looking at, I'm guessing she would have been about 32, 33. Debbie Harry. Ken Hatch is in the house and he's enjoying the sunshine down in Welsh Wales. Morning, Ken. Thank you for being here. There's our new friend, Chris Physicala. If you'd like to get me to pronounce that properly, then please let me know how I should pronounce it. But good of you to join us. There is my question of the day again. Don't know why I ended up with it twice. Steve Williamson is in the house, counting down the minutes and the hours, I would imagine, right about now. Back to the celebrity crush. No, hang on. We'll come back to that in a second. Yeah, Mike, let's have a look. Jim Turner says, Jesus, there's loads. Rosamund Pike. Jeanette Manara. Don't know that one. Anna Church. Don't know that one. Victoria Corin Mitchell. Do you know, it's a really strange one, that. But I know where you're coming from. Kaylee Love, don't know her. Priti Patel. See, every inch of my being wants to despise every inch of Priti Patel's being. But, yeah, I can see that. Stephen Guthrie says, my gripe is this. I dream of today, more faults than my wife in one day from a brand new machine. Sometimes it happens. So I don't know whether this is predictable or not, but Steve Williamson leapt straight onto the celebrity crush, and he went with Ed Butler. I can see that. Handsome fella. I don't blame you at all. Mick Norton. Good call with Liz Hurley in that dress. You remember that dress that was barely containing her things? Fantastic. And to think that Hugh Grant went and dabbled elsewhere while he was with Liz Hurley. I like Hugh Grant a lot, but he was clearly having an off day that day. The Bobcat tune was a good one. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah. As I say, it was high speed. It needed something high speed to go with it. And I've got to say, I'm just going to do a quick reminder because some people did arrive late. We're giving that away tomorrow. I'm not sure that constitutes a wedding present, Steve, but if you fancy it, be here at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. We'll be giving that away. Incidentally, how was this for a weird thing? I'm fairly sure I've got the dates right. I'm fairly sure it is Saturday this week that Steve Williamson gets married, and I've got another mate called Steve Padmore who is also getting married on Saturday. 2 Steves, 2 weddings, same day. Go figure. Who would have thunk it? So yes, that's all to come. Let me think. Yeah, I'll obviously be back here for this show tomorrow morning, but 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon we'll be doing the construction equipment news, and it will be dedicated entirely, 100%. It will be pure Bobcat bliss, as far as the eye can see. So if that's the kind of thing you're into, please turn up, tune in, drop out, and hopefully win yourself a model as well. If Lou Carney is still here, Lou, how long till plant works? It feels like about just over 2 weeks. Just over 2 weeks, is it now? I've lost track, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't even know what the date is today. Yeah, we've got a few days of May left, and then we're on the countdown. So, yes, if you're planning to come along, then please come and look us up. Come and look Lou up. Come and look Gaz Evans up. Make sure you go to the Bobcat stand. My new mate Jan, who is one of the marketing team, will be coming over from the Czech Republic to be there. Looking forward to catching up with him again. Fantastic bunch of people. I've already said I will name names tomorrow on the show, but Jan and David and Brody and Dennis and VJ and Kaylin and so many great people to hang about. There you are, 19 days. As Paul Hardcastle would have said, no, 19 days. 19 days time, I will have surrendered this office, I will have surrendered beautiful Prague, and I will be in Peterborough, which under normal circumstances would not be a good swap, but I will be surrounded by some great people and some fantastic kit, so I'm looking forward to that. Right, people, go and do your thing. I now have time to have a cup of tea and a slice of toast before I get on this Zoom call, but I'll be back tomorrow twice. I'll be back here at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'll be back again at 1 p.m. When we're giving away that model. Just one final thing, if you were on Facebook this morning, the description of this show said that we were going to be featuring a couple of new Kobelco machines. It went mental this morning, so as a result we're going to be featuring those tomorrow instead, if I can get the video to work. So if you were tuning in specifically to see the Kobelco machines, please try again tomorrow, by which time hopefully I will have beaten their video to death. In the meantime, everybody, go and have a fantastic day. Go and enjoy the sunshine, assuming you've got some. It is bright and sunny here today. In fact, I think once my Zoom call is over, I may go and do a bit of work, sort of laptopy work. I'm not going to go and do gardening, but I might go and sit in the garden to do some work. Maybe. We'll see. Everybody, have a fantastic day. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Thank you for all your celebrity crushes. I'm sticking with Debbie Harry, to be perfectly honest, but there were some great suggestions there. I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a fantastic day, everyone. All the best.